Okay, third section is all about inscribed angles. So again, an inscribed angle is an angle that lands on the circle. The relationship is that the angle is half the arc measure that it intercepts. So whatever that arc measure is, the angle's half. If you know the angle, then you double it to get the arc measure. There are a couple of special properties if you have an inscribed angle that intercepts a diameter. So if the two ends land on the end of the diameter, then that's going to be a right angle because a half of a circle is 180 degrees. So the arc measure is 180. If you take half of 180, you get 90 degrees. If two inscribed angles intercept the same arc, then we know that the angles are equal. So like if they highlight this arc here, arc AD, they know that angle B there and angle C there are going to be the same angle because they intercept the same pink arc. Okay, so the first example, again, we said if we know the arc measure, we're just going to take half of it. So half the arc measure equals the angle measure, so that'd be 31 degrees. Second example, now we know the angle measure, so I'm not going to take half of the angle measure, I'm going to double it. So that's 226 is going to be the arc measure. Okay, the next one. This one, there's no numbers whatsoever, but I do notice that it intercepts a diameter. So we do know that half a circle is 180 degrees. So this time again, I know the arc measure. So if I take half of that, that's 90 degrees. Now, this one is asking for this arc. So we got to be careful here. If I double the 47, that's 94 degrees, but that's not the arc that I'm looking for. Because of the half circle, if I take 180 minus, 180 minus 94, or if you think of it, 94 plus what equals 180. Then we subtract 94 from both sides, and that's going to give us 86. So again, a lot of the questions that you'll do involve looking at the problem and doing a half circle or a full circle and trying to figure out the rest of it. Okay, so this next one, now I know KL, KJ. It's asking me to find the measure of angle JKL. So they want me to find this angle here. So I need to figure out what this arc measure is. That's on the outside. So 53 plus 65 plus x equals 360. So 53, 360 minus 53 minus 65. That's going to be 242. So then I cut that in half, 121. Okay, so again, I had to use the idea of a full circle to figure out the arc measure that corresponds to the angle measure. So again, it's a puzzle piece to try to figure out what do you need to know or what do you need to find out. Okay, the next one says the measure of RST and the measure of RUT. So RST and RUT, they intercept this arc. So again, I think it's 64 plus 139 plus 75 plus x has to equal 360. So I'm going to figure out what that arc measure is first. So 360 minus 64 minus 139 minus 75. That arc measure is 82 degrees. So if I take half of that, those would both be 41 degrees. Okay, now it says solve for x. So the x is the angle, 8x minus 9. So the angle equals half the arc. So 158 divided by 2. So 8x minus 9 equals 79. So add 9, 8x equals 88, so x equals 11. Okay, again, it's what you're given. So I'm given the arc and I'm given the angle. So that one I'm just going to take half the arc, set it equal to the angle. This one I'm given the angle and the arc, so I know the arc measure, 4x plus 58, is double what the angle measure is. So 4x plus 58 is going to equal 134. So 134 minus 58. So 4x equals 76, divide by 76, whoops, divide by 4, and x equals 19. Okay, again, on this problem, I knew the angle measure, so I had to double it and set that equal to the arc, because the arc was the one that had the variable on it. So double the angle measure, and then that's what you would set it equal to. Okay, this one, again, very straightforward because of the property from earlier. We know that this is a semicircle, so 13x minus 1 equals 90. So 13x equals 91. So x is 7. Okay, the next one, kind of a multi-step problem. If I look here, I know that that arc's 78, so if I take half of that, that's going to be this angle right here. So half of 78 is 39. Now I know that 39 plus 114 plus 7x plus 6, all three of those add up to 180 because they form a triangle. So if I do 180 minus 39 minus 114, so I know the angle that I'm looking for, 7x plus 6, has to measure 27. So minus 6, divide by 7, and x equals 3. Okay, we'll do this last one. Again, I know that this angle here, or excuse me, that arc and this arc, so I want to try to find this arc. So again, 92 plus 162 plus x is 360. So 360 minus 92 minus 162 is 106. So I know that arc measure is 106. So the angle is going to be half of that. So 7x minus 10. Half of 106 is 53. So 7x equals 63. So x equals 9. Okay, so that is, again, inscribed angles. You're looking at half the measure of what's going on, but a lot of the times you're going to have to do a little extra work to figure out what that arc measure is as you go through. Okay, again, as always, if you have questions, shoot me an email, log into Teams from 4 to 6. The link is on Schoology.